Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ash, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Ash Knows Travel, where I share trainings, walkthroughs, and insider tips to help travel advisors book smarter and build confidence. And tonight's training is all about how to handle client and agent objections. We're going to talk about what to say, how to respond, and how to stay confident when questions, concerns, or hesitation comes up. Because honestly, let's talk about it. Objections are a real normal part of this business, right? And when you know how to handle them the right way, that they just don't stop the conversation. It's just something small that you guys move forward from, right? So we are going to talk about that exactly for tonight. And you should already know if you are live here, go ahead and comment hello in the chat so that I know that you are here. And if you happen to watch this on the replay, just go ahead and comment underneath the video replay so that I know that you stopped by. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in and get started. And let's talk about how to handle client and agent objections. We're going to talk about decoding. That's what we're doing tonight. We are decoding hesitation to save the sale, and we're going to master the art of luxury travel advisory. Now, I know it's not necessarily luxury travel, but I'm talking about luxury travel advisory. We are advising them on a luxury level so that they don't have to feel any types of hesitations because we are confident in what we do. So before I get started, you guys already know I like to cover for what I'm doing for the rest of the month. So here you guys can see it. Tonight we're doing how to handle client and agent objections. Next week, I'm going to be doing new agent phase 1 and phase 2. And then on that Thursday, I'm going to talk about CLIA and IATAN. So if you just got your CLIA, you just got your IATAN, and you don't know what perks there are, all right, I got you. And then the following week, we're going to do CC Forum and Commission Hub because it's got an update that I love to talk about. CapCut, template videos, and then live travel Q&A, and then a downtown travel walkthrough to end us for the end of the month. All right, so let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Now, I want to hit you guys with some truth before I go into a deep dive on how to handle these objections. All right, the truth about objections are that our objections are not rejections. That can be a whole rhyme, right? Objections are not rejections. But anytime we see an objection, that's the automatic feel that we get as travel advisors, right? But honestly, they are signs of fear, uncertainty, and just interest, okay? If they are still talking, you can still close. If they are asking you questions, it's because they're interested in it. And I feel like that is a huge set shift that we need to do as travel advisors, because when we hear rejections, not rejections, but oh, this is, what is this? What is that? I have questions. We automatically just get this fear, oh, man, I'm not going to do it, right? We have to change that. And that is exactly what I plan on doing with you guys tonight. And I'm not going to only do it on a client level. I'm going to do it on an agent level too, because we face a lot of objections sometimes when we get new agents. And I want you guys to be confident in how to handle those as well. So with that, I want you to understand your role in what you're actually going to be doing while you are handling these objections. So your role is going to be a leader. I want you to lead the conversation. You are not here to convince people to book with you ever. You are not here to debate your prices or what this or that or anything like that, okay? Our goal in this conversation is to understand what they are asking, guide them, and then reassure them with any questions that they have. You guys have to learn how to stop reacting to the questions and then start leading them. Just because they have a question doesn't mean that they don't want to book with you. It just means that they're actually interested in what you have, right? Honestly, I feel like more confident when people ask me questions, because that means they actually took time to read what I send, right? I just closed a booking the other day, and when I closed it with the guy, he called me late at night, and then he was like, all right, let's do this booking. He had a lot of questions, but the questions turned out to be one of the most favorite things. He asked me about why the price of the package. And I said, well, honestly, I'm trying to get rid of like all of these extra things. I want to maximize your experience. So I picked direct flights. First of all, that's why the price is expensive. That's it. When I said direct flights, oh, okay, thanks. Right? I need direct flights. Cool. I also got you a luxury rental car. That's what the price is. Okay. When I include those parts of the package, he can see the value in it. So all of that hesitation goes away. Okay. And that's really what I'm going to be talking about tonight. I'm really going to be talking about how you guys can establish value while decoding these client and agent objections. Okay. We're going to basically be translating uncertainty into confidence, is honestly what it is. No matter how you guys have these objections arise, if you guys have the ability to confidently answer them, it makes it so much easier when you guys are doing these bookings. And that's exactly what I'm trying to show you tonight. Okay. So the first one we have is the most common one. It's too expensive. Okay. When somebody tells you it's too expensive, you first of all did not qualify them correctly. Let's talk about that. Okay. If you're showing them something that's too expensive, then you did not get their budget. But just because something shows that it's too expensive, it doesn't mean that they are not interested in booking it, right? We can all agree that doesn't mean. So we need to take this, it's too expensive. First of all, make sure that we qualified them. And then second of all, take it a little bit deeper. Too expensive means that they don't see the value in what you're offering them. Because when it comes to value, people value the trip experience more than the actual price, right? If I say, yeah, it's more expensive, but it includes all of this, then that is going to help them understand why the price is the way it is, right? So if I see this and I get it's too expensive, it's very rare that I get that, but if it ever happens, my initial response is, okay, well, what part of the trip feels most out of budget? Like, what do you see that's part of the trip that doesn't feel right? Sometimes they can tell you, oh, okay, the flights, I don't need the most expensive flights or the car, or maybe I need to change the resort. Like, there's different options that we can do to fit them in the budget. Another thing that I like to talk about when it's too expensive is the dates. I always come when people will give me like a budget. Like one time for a honeymoon, he gave me a budget of like $4,000, but he wanted to go 7 nights. Okay, let's have a real conversation. You can't go for 4 nights to breathless Punta Cana for $4,000, or not 4 nights, 7 nights for 2 people. That's not going to happen. Like that's, and you want a swim up suite on top of that? No. All right, let's be realistic in your budget. You want to stay 7 nights? You're for sure on that 7 nights? Okay, fine. Then you need to raise your budget to about $4,500. Are you okay with that? All right, cool. Like, do you see how I'm guiding them? Because like, we have to have real conversations. We're not magical fairies. We can't price match. We can price match if they have it, right? But like, we can't just pull the price out that they want. We have to be realistic in what we're doing, right? So the result of me asking them what feels the most out of budget is going to open the conversation and avoid instant discounting. A lot of the times they feel like it's too expensive, so they want to lower the price. But I always bring it back to like selling a car, okay? If I'm going to buy a car, and a lot of the times when we're buying a car, we don't want the cheapest car. We want the car that has the best value, that has the most features, that has the most this, the most that, okay? If I get it's too expensive, I hit them with that. Okay, yeah, it might be a little bit higher than what you're projecting, but let's talk about what's actually inside this package. Because once you are able to see the value of what you're getting, you're going to realize it's not really expensive. It just actually has a lot of added features that you wouldn't find anywhere else, like Expedia, or if you were to just go book on your own, they don't have the ability to do all of this. Okay. Now, along with that too expensive, I want you guys to understand that you have to break down the package completely. If they're saying it's too expensive, they don't have any idea of what's included. So make sure you do that. Okay. Number 2, I need to think about it. Yeah. I get this one. Sometimes if they say it, most of the time they'll just get quiet. And that is just like my normal red flag. Like if I send it and I don't really hear anything back after I've already communicated with them that I've sent it, then it's kind of like, ooh, let me touch base, right? A normal, I need to think about it is because they are unsure. They are unsure because something feels off. Okay. Now, when they say that, a lot of us just shut them down and go, okay, yeah, just let me know what you think. Let me know. Like, okay, we don't need to answer it that way. This does not mean it's a rejection. It's just something that they need to think about. If I'm investing $5,000 to $6,000 in a vacation, I need to think about it, right? My response, of course. What part are you still thinking through? Okay. This pulls out that real objection and kind of keeps me like in control of the conversation, because if they feel unsure about something, I need to reassure them that it's worth the value. Okay. I can't find out that question if I don't ask it. And a lot of you guys are afraid to ask it. You just want to send the quote and hop off, book it, not book it, whatever you decide, right? But that doesn't always work when it comes to bookings, because sometimes we have big bookings that we need to process, and those people, they might need to think about it, okay? If they want to think about it, that's fine. You could definitely do so, but let me reassure you a few things, okay? First of all, if you want to think about it, I can't guarantee that the pricing is going to be the same by the time you come back. Honestly, the pricing fluctuates all throughout the day. So this is what I have right now. You thinking about it could cost the price to go up, okay? That's the first thing I hit them with, because they need to understand that these prices change, okay? Second thing I hit them with is, what is the part that you are still thinking through? Like, what of this is actually feeling like you need to think about it? Because I want to make sure you feel completely comfortable with this booking. That opens a whole strenuous of questions, right? Now, a lot of people are going to ask me probably, how do I do this? And normally when I present a quote, I present it over the phone. I will send it to them and I will call them on the phone and say, hey, I sent you the quote. Can you take a look at it? Let me know what you think, right? And when they're going through it or when they're processing it, sometimes if I send it to them, a text message, etc. However I send that quote, I still am talking to them while I send it. I never just drop it off. And I like to open every question, or like every response has a question to it, because I want to continuously talk to them and I'm waiting for their response to carry on to the closing. I don't ever just end it when I'm dropping it off, okay? No. So the second one, I need to think about it. Now, let's talk about the next one. Oof. How many of you guys have had this one? Oof. I hate this one. You see, I rolled my eyes. I hate this one. Like, no, you didn't. No, okay? It's very rare that they find it cheaper online. It's very rare. It's missing something. It's not apples to apples. And if it is apples to apples, we'll price match it, okay? But you can price match on Vax. You can price match on, Vacation Express. And I've seen some done on other vendors too. So whatever vendor you find that you're using, normally we can price match. But when they say they found it cheaper online, let's talk about it. What does that actually mean for us? They do not understand what is actually included. They don't understand what's included. Okay, you found it cheaper online, but if something goes wrong and your flight's canceled at like 3 a.m. when Spirit Airlines just decides to close, who are you going to call? Expedia? I don't think you're going to call Expedia. You're going to want to call me, right? That's the first part that's included. We'll talk about that. Now, did you find that in that cheaper price? Probably not, right? So we need to break down the value of they found it cheaper online. A lot of the times when they find it cheaper online, they're missing something. They're either missing the insurance that you included, the transfer you included, they're missing a feature that you added, or maybe they have different room types. Maybe they didn't go all the way to the end. That's a big one. They just see a price, they screenshot it, send it to you. And a lot of the times, I'm going to be real honest with you, they didn't find it cheaper. They're price gouging you. They want to see if they can get you to go lower. That's 90% of the time. One time, I'm going to tell you how far I took this one, because these really irk my nerves. Do not tell me you have found it cheaper when I've sat here and did all of this work for you to find what you found, okay? Yes, you may have found it cheaper, but I did all the research to tell you where to go. So no, you didn't find it cheaper, right? So I'll give you an example, all right? I did a whole quote for someone one time, and then they got to the end and said, yeah, my boyfriend found it cheaper. And I said, oh, where did he find it at? Because now I'm interested, right? Where did you find it cheaper at? That's the first question I'm about to ask you, because I want to price match it. I want to see what you found. And then the lady was like, oh, my boyfriend, he said he found it cheaper. We'll pull it up. Okay, fine. Nothing. I heard nothing. I said, oh, were you able to send me what you found? No, we're just going to go ahead and book it with you. Okay. All right. Right. like I bet you are going to book it with me. Right. So a lot of the times there's just missing pieces to this, and that it's not actually that they found it cheaper, because we normally either get it exactly or a little bit lower. So it's very rare. But a lot of the times it comes down to the fact that they're forgetting something or they're missing something. Okay. Now, when I cover this topic, all of you hop in my little chat box. Okay. I can't see it, but I know there's somebody in there probably saying, oh, well, I've had it several times. Right. Okay. If this happens to you, I want you to take it to your mentor or whoever you go to talk about travel. Don't do it yourself, because a lot of the times we don't see everything. There's something in there that is not included. There's something missing. There's something that they're not telling you. Maybe they're using their points. Maybe they're using like Costco. Like there's something that they are not telling you, right? And a lot of the times, like when it comes to these cheaper bookings, is they're using like they might be using Costco or Amazon, their AMX points or whatever. Okay. Costco is exactly like us. It's also a travel agency owned by Costco. So if they're price matching, it's a good chance that they might be a little bit cheaper. In that case, price match it, right? But it's not supposed to happen all the time. It shouldn't be happening. And if it is, you need to go back to the person, your mentor or whatever, and make sure that you're looking in the right locations, that you're looking at the right stuff, that you're not adding too much. Like there's a problem in the process, okay? So do that deep research. Now, typically, when they say this, they don't understand what's actually included. So I'm about to go in there and really break it down for them. But I will respond with, do you want me to double check so nothing gets missed? Okay. Then I will ask them what they have. I'll have them send it to me and I'll do apples to apples to see if it works. Okay. This way I'm avoiding arguing with them because I know what I present. I'm going to price check it before I send it to you. So there's no way that you found it cheaper. I'm not going to send you something that I can see significantly cheaper. I'm not going to put myself in a hole, right? I am confident about what I sent. I know what's included. I know that I have the entire package offered to you, and it also comes with me, okay? This way, I'm positioning it as an expert. I'm not going to fold and be like, oh, yeah, it's a little bit cheaper. No. But look, I'm doing it for you, okay? Even if you were to have paid a little bit more, you had it done for you and you have expert sitting in your pocket, right? Like there's so many different ways that you can take this. And another one that I like to point out too, this actually happened while we were in the study hall. They were talking about the prices, rates, etc. Even if they may have found it cheaper, ask them if they have to pay in full, because that's another thing that they don't want to tell you either. If they go on like Expedia or something, they'll be like, yeah, I found it cheaper. Okay. But do you have a deposit option? Because I have a deposit option. Yeah, it might be $20 more or whatever, but can you make payments on it or is it all due up front? Like, you guys see where I'm going with this? Like, there's always just something that they're not telling you. So make sure that you check every part of that booking because you are offering them something regardless of what they have that they don't actually have, right? So that is number 3. Now, the next one I get a lot of is let me talk to my partner. I get this a lot because I do adults only. So when they want to do a let me talk to their partner, I let them talk, okay? I will send them one of them fancy mock booking flyers so they have all the details. But what that says to me is that I'm not confident that I can explain this to them, okay? And the reason why they want to talk to them is because there's some part of it that they really need to agree on. And it could be the price, it could be the resort, it could be the locations, whatever, right? I want to find out what that is. So I asked, perfect. What questions do you think they will have? That is what I asked. And that way I'm involved in the decision making and I can already go ahead and if they're going to get objections, I can give them what they need to say to their partner to get rid of that objection. I will give it to them. I'm like, they have a problem with the price. Okay, well, let's talk about what's included. Okay. So that way you can go and talk to them exactly and tell them what's provided. I'm going to go through the whole thing. I even do this a lot with groups. Like when they go through groups and they're like, well, let me talk to my friend. Okay, fine. Your friend is going to probably be like, I got it here, here, and here. Okay, that's great. But did you have all of this included? Do you have a deposit? Do you have me? Right? Like I want to give them the full part of what's included, everything in case they have that objection. They already know how to handle it. Like I'm handling their objections too, right? So whenever you get the let me talk to my partner or my friend or whatever, okay, cool. Do you think there's anything that, that they will have questions about so I can go ahead and help you in advance? Like you're being a part of that decision maker. And honestly, In group settings, this puts you in their corner, like you're like their trustee. So when they have questions and they don't know the answers, they know that they can come back to me and I'll answer and handle it for them. Okay. If you've ever done a group, you know, sometimes we have to be involved in the decision-making process. Sometimes we have to be like the final, like, nope, this is what we're going to do. Right. Like, and it's really good to kind of connect with the main person. So you guys have each other's back. Like it happens. Okay. But you have to be able to pull out those objections out of them, regardless of what part of the process you're in, to be that forerunner for the I'm the leader, I'll handle this, just come to me. Like that's how you want to position yourself as the advisor. That way they have the ability to feel comfortable with you. And even if they talk to their partner, they know that you have their back. All right. So next one we're going to talk about. Okay, those are my most popular ones. I feel like that's really it. If you have more, feel free to drop them in the chat. I can try and help, but I feel like that handles 90% of what we have for our client objections, right? Next one we have are decoding agent objections, which is navigating the emotional fears of your team, okay? We are doing something that is fast-paced. We are doing something that takes a lot of learning, and it takes you a little bit of growing out of your comfort zone. Can we all agree with that? Yes? So noting that, we need to have the ability to get rid of the fears of what can happen. A lot of us have been here for at least a few years. Some of us are brand new, okay? But regardless, even if you're new, okay, you're an agent still. So if you have these objections, you might feel it too. Regardless of where you're at, we have to be able to handle these objections, not only for ourselves, but for our agents too, because we need to understand that this is a bigger picture. I think that's probably the biggest thing that I've learned from this weekend, okay? I will be the forerunning story if you need it, okay? 3 years ago, I started this, and I remember in March when I first started, I attended my first regionals in 2023. I think I did my first regionals. And when I did the regionals, I saw that and I said, oof, I got to be up on there. I got to be up there talking, man. I got to get up there. I don't know how I'm going to do it, okay? 3 years later, I hosted or co-hosted, shall I say, with Christina. And we did a whole event in Houston. And that's exactly what I did. I got up there, okay? So the reason I say that is because when you're a new agent, I remember that fear I had. I remember feeling nervous talking to leaders and all of that, right? You're not going to find me there 3 years later. Now I'm on stage, I'm talking, whatever, right? The reason I say that, and not to just brag, the reason I'm saying that is that you have to understand your mindset is different from new agents because you've already been through all of that. You've already put yourself forward, right? And your story might be different from mine, but my example for that is to show you that we need to take it back. We need to understand that we're ahead, but we need to go back to how that first feels. And that's exactly the best way to decode any agent objections. Put yourself in their shoes, right? So the first one I normally get is, I don't have time. Now, I will tell you something about I don't have time. I'm a big firm believer in you have time. Well, how do I say it? You make time for what you actually want to make time for. It's not the right way I say it normally. Normally I say you are what you make time for. That's what I say. You are what you make time for. Can we all agree with that? It's not that you actually don't have time. You just honestly don't want to make time for this. Like, let's be real with each other, okay? We all have time. We're not always all busy all the time. And honestly, if you set up this stuff with systems and get everything kind of in place, you don't have to take too much time doing this, okay? But the most common thing is that they feel like setting all it up, they're overwhelmed, they get on this process of doing this, doing that, they're learning, they're trying to market, like they have that overwhelming feeling, right? So what does it actually mean when they don't have time? What they're trying to tell me is that their schedule and life already feel completely full, okay? I will hit that objection and I will say, honestly, this is meant to create freedom and flexibility. This is not meant to create more work. Yes, the initial setup is a little bit of work, but once you get it set up and processing, it shouldn't take 90% of your day, okay? Now, if it's taking 90% of the day, you need to reevaluate what you're doing because it's not supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be something that we can put in place. We do throughout the day. Clients come to us, etc., right? We have to reframe the commitment that they are doing to align with their lifestyle. So when I get this, I don't have time, I realize that I need to break it down. If they feel like everything is too full or they're overwhelmed, I'm giving them too much, because we can give them a lot, right? I have to break it down so that they are able to understand small parts of it. And I'll say, okay, you know what? This is meant to create flexibility. So let's just take it a little bit slower or break it down. For today, I just want you to do new agent phase 1. When you're done with that, let me know. Okay. That way they don't see all of it at once. A lot of us do this. A lot of us get new agents. We hand them packets and we say, all right, you let me know when you're done. Okay. You can't do that with an agent. It's just too much. It's overwhelming to them. It is. Okay. So I like to break it down. If you feel like you don't have time, I just want you to complete this and just let me know when you complete it. Okay. That way it's a smaller, like, okay, I'm gonna tell you, Christina, I love Christina Bertels. When we did our event in Houston, something that she said, when you're eating food, you take a bite at a time and then you swallow it and then you go back and take another bite, right? You're not taking all the bites at once. That's exactly what this is. You have to give them small tasks to complete so that they can see the bigger picture of what they're doing instead of just throwing it all at them. All right. Number 2, you don't know enough. This is probably one of the most biggest misconceptions about the travel industry, is that you have to have a ton of experience and a ton of knowledge. Okay. When they say this to you, and a lot of the times is, I'm not ready to launch. I'm not ready to tell people. I don't know enough. I don't know this. Okay. What it really means is I'm afraid to look inexperienced, or I'm afraid to mess up. Okay. We have to reassure them that they have everything that they need. Okay. And if they don't, we will help them. That is our biggest thing. We have to provide that reassurance and that guidance that in this event, you are going to have what you need. Okay. A lot of the times, this I don't know enough will stop agents in their tracks. It will stop them from ever going further. It will stop them from ever actually telling people, because they have this fear. So my response naturally would be, yay, you have everything that you need. Okay. Even if you don't, I have the ability to show you what to do to get what you need. So you just need systems and support. You don't have to have everything. You don't have to know everything. We can find things out. We can do our first couple of bookings together. I've got your back when it comes to doing this. So I need you to get out of your comfort zone, and I need you to just go. Just launch it. We will figure it out as we go. And I got you when we're figuring it out. Okay. This removes that pressure of perfection and builds their confidence, because they know that they have somebody in their corner. Okay. If you are mentoring and you're not ready to do this, be careful with how many people you take on, because a lot of agents go through this and a lot of them need us to take a few minutes out of our day to give them a little bit reassurance. Okay. Number 3, I don't want to sell. This is another, I feel like, misconception about the travel industry, is that we actually sell things. Yes, we sell hotels, flights, whatever, right? But that's not what our actual job here is. Our job is to actually guide people who already want to travel. That's all we're doing. We're guiding them. We're giving them the best recommendation, and we're sending it to them for them to process. Okay. We have to have the ability to shift the way that they think. They have to shift their identity from a salesperson, because that's what they think when they first start, that they're salespersons, but we actually are trusted advisors. That's what our real goal here is, to be as a trusted advisor that gives the recommendations and the bookings to the clients that they need, right? That is a big issue when they first see themselves. They think they're selling. No, we want you to become a trusted luxury travel advisor, right? Like, you were full on, you got the packages you could do, you got the travel insurance, like, and I say luxury because, like, why not be fancy? But like, we want you to be a full travel advisor, and you have all the tools to do so. You can book their hotel, you could book their resort, you could book their flight, you could book transfer, rental car, 10-leg travel insurance, you can book their tickets, you can book their excursions. Like, I know you know this. But when you see it as in a place as, I'm the advisor, I'm the person to go to, right? That is what they need to see it as well. Because when we first start, we really think it's just sales. We're just selling things, but that's not what we're really doing here, right? So with that, okay, let's take it a little bit further. We got to learn how to close it with confidence. Okay, we got to take control of that final step. And that's exactly what I've kind of been working through with you guys tonight, is how to respond so that when you guys are closing, whether it's a client or an agent, okay, you're confirming it, you're reassuring them, whatever that is that a lot of us don't want to take control of it. Can we be honest? A lot of us have the fear of taking control of that final step. A lot of us will kind of walk away from it or be quiet because we don't know how to handle that. But I'm hoping tonight you'll feel a little bit better. Yes? So let's talk about our secret weapon. Okay. The biggest thing that you can do when it comes to objections, okay, is to simply ask a guiding question. Do not get angry. Do not get upset. If they ask questions, it's because they're interested. Now, another thing that David McCovey, listen, he just did so much knowledge in one day. I'm mind blown. Okay. Another thing that he said about leadership was that when they stop coming to you with their problems, that's when they no longer see you as a leader. Okay. And he probably worded it way better, but that's really, really big. When they stop coming to you with their questions or their problems or their hesitations, they no longer feel like you're in control. So I always set the tone of asking a question to pull it out of them, to get more questions from them or more whatever I need to close it. Okay. I need them to ask me questions. Not only do I need them to ask me questions, but I need to give them questions to answer so I can pull out what the issues are. Okay. So anytime that I am doing something, at the end of what I'm doing, I ask this: does this make sense? Or are you ready to move forward? Or is there anything else I can help you with? Like, do you have other questions? Like, I need to ask a question, and I do this at the end of everything that I'm responding to continue that conversation. Okay. Listen to what it says. He who asks the questions controls the conversation. Can we agree with that? That's exactly how I handle it. Every time I'm going in there, that's the way I walk into it. I'm controlling this. I am the leader. I am the confident closer. I am the advisor. Okay. That way, when they hit me with objections, I feel it more as, oh, they're trusting me, so they want to ask me questions, instead of that like rejection feel that we normally get as advisors. Okay. So my final thought for you guys that I want to leave you with, and then I hope I will see you guys back on Tuesday for New Agent Phase 2. But my final thought for tonight is price and experience do not close deals. They don't. The price and experience, it doesn't always close the deal. Okay. The way you connect with someone, your energy, your clarity on any questions that they have, and the way you lead that conversation is what actually closes the deal. Okay. If I were to go back when I first started, I wasn't a great closer. I mean, I closed deals, obviously, but I had to work a lot on closing the deal. I did. That was one of my faults, was following through. And that's why I train on it so hard, because I know this is a big issue for you guys, right? So when I learned how to really close, and it wasn't even really about learning how to close, it was actually learning my worth as an advisor. When I knew how much value I had, there's no questions. There's nobody questioning me. There's no nothing. This is what I have. You want it, you want it, you don't. Okay, bye. I'm going to go find another client, right? Like, that kind of confidence, honestly, is what kind of drives the closing, right? But that confidence comes with my energy, that comes with my clarity, because I know what I bring to the table, and I lead everything because I know that I can get you into this book, okay? That way, I'm able to decode first, respond second, and then guide them home, hopefully straight to closing the booking. That's what I really try to do, okay? So the next time that you are on one of those bookings, on one of your quotes, and somebody hits you with the question, this is what I want you to do. The first thing I want you to do is to decode. Okay, why do you need more time? What's up? Let me know. Like, I need you to decode what they're feeling. Then I want you to respond and reassure them or answer their question, and then bring it down to another question. Bring in that question. Does that make sense? Does that help in that situation? Does that provide clarity to you? That way, you know that you answered all the questions to where you can bring it to the closing. And that is the goal, right? It's like a funnel. We get the questions, we respond, we bring them all the way down to closing, right? So that is exactly how I want you guys to handle it. That way, you're not sitting there just leaving it at that uncertain stage. I just did a training where I said, where you agents lose the sale. This is it. This is exactly where they lose the sale. It's the uncertainty and the ability that they just lack to respond. Okay. So I'm hoping that after you guys watch this, you feel a little bit better about handling objections, and really just how you respond to people, and not only how do you respond, but how you decode. Okay. When you hear things, I want you to think, okay, this is not actually what they mean. They actually mean something else. What are they trying to tell me? and then I want you to decode it. That way you can actually answer what their concerns are, and you're not just fluffing them up or, oh yeah, just let me know, right? Let's find out what they're asking. That way we have a better option of handling that objection. Okay. So that is what I want to leave you guys for tonight. Make sure you like this video, share it with your teams, and comment if it helps. If you have somebody that's coming to you and they're like, oh, I got this lead, but they didn't book it, send them this training. Okay. They probably had, or if you get the one that's like, they said they found it cheaper online, send them this training so I can help them. Okay. Make sure like you said, like this video, and make sure you share with your teams. I'm going to head over to my studio now. If you guys have questions, please put them in the chat box. If you have questions and you're watching the recording, just comment on the video so I can see it. And if not, make sure you hop back on next Tuesday, where I'll be doing new agent phase 2. And phase 2 is setting up your marketing, setting up where you promote yourself. I mean, I'm doing everything over there in phase 2. Okay. It's like after orientation, it's like the initial startup. So if you are an agent that's kind of experienced, I would still suggest attending, just because I might show you something that you're missing. Yeah. So make sure you guys join me back on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, where I'll go over new agent phase 2. And for now, I'm going to head over to the chat box so I can answer any questions or anything that you guys have put in the chat. I will find it there, and I'll answer it for you. And then I will see you guys back on Tuesday. All right.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, grow hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they ride. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time, it's how you operate at greatness. So flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.